The Ahsoka show premieres in less than 2 weeks.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
The first 2 episodes releasing on August 23rd, we have very little time to prepare for this show. But there are certain things that you need to watch before to understand what's going on in this Ahsoka show. So stick around to the end of this video to hear what I think is the most important thing that you 1000% need to watch before you watch the Ahsoka show. Because if you don't, you will be very confused as this show comes out week to week. So smash a like on this video and let's break this all down. The prequel trilogy, The Clone Wars, Tales of the Jedi, Kenobi, Star Wars Rebels, the original trilogy, The Mandalorian, and even the Book of Boba Fett all come out before the Ahsoka show and involve many of the main characters that are in the upcoming show. Now that would take about 108 hours, or 4.5 days if you didn't stop to eat, sleep, or take a shit. Now, with less than 2 weeks until Ahsoka's release, it is technically still possible for you to watch all of this content. And if you do, please tell me in the comment section below. However, I believe that I have narrowed this down to the essential episodes and seasons of certain shows to fully understand what is going on in Ahsoka and to understand who these characters really are. So starting off with the prequel era, I'm pretty sure that many of you have seen the prequel trilogy hundreds of times. And with the lack of Ahsoka, I think The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are easy skips that you don't need to watch to understand Ahsoka. Now, Revenge of the Sith, on the other hand, is extremely important, but that's not what you're going to start off with. First, you have to start at the beginning of the titular character, Ahsoka, who makes her first appearance in the Clone Wars. Again, I'm sure you don't have enough time to watch all 7 seasons of this show, but that's okay. You just need to watch enough to understand the character of Ahsoka and her strong connection to her master, Anakin Skywalker. To start with the Clone Wars, I would go straight to Season 3, Episode 15, 16, and 17, also known as the Mortis Arc. Seeing how Ahsoka's connection to the daughter, who is the living embodiment of the light side of the Force, is extremely important, I think the Mortis Arc is definitely a must-watch to understand Ahsoka. Then I think you can skip right until the last 4 episodes of Season 5 of the Clone Wars. This is when Ahsoka sees the corruption of the Jedi when she gets framed for something she didn't do. And this ends with Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order, which is a huge reason, and arguably the biggest reason, as to why Anakin Skywalker falls to the dark side. Now, if you happen to have some extra time while watching the Clone Wars, the Siege of Mandalore, which is the last 4 episodes of Season 7, is so freaking good, but it's not necessary in understanding the Ahsoka show. Then I would watch Revenge of the Sith. Anakin's fall to the dark side is extremely important to the character of Ahsoka and to the Ahsoka show in general. When this series begins, Ahsoka is blaming herself for what happened to her master. And the reports are saying that we might see, via the World Between Worlds, Ahsoka taking the place of Obi-Wan on the final battle in Revenge of the Sith on Mustafar, which would just be insane. Now, I do think that you can skip right past the Kenobi show and Tales of the Jedi, even though it does involve characters like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka herself. They don't really seem necessary for understanding the Ahsoka show. However, next on the list is Star Wars Rebels, and this is the most important show that you have to watch to prepare for Ahsoka. Now again, you don't have to watch the entire show. It is 4 seasons, and that is a lot. But Rebels introduces Sabine Wren, Hera Syndulla, Chopper, Ezra Bridger, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. And it also, of course, develops Ahsoka as a character even more. So there are very important episodes that you need to watch in Star Wars Rebels, but none of them take place in Season 1, so you can skip right on through till Season 2, Episode 15, The Call. This episode introduces space whales that can travel through hyperspace called the Purrgil. The Purrgil were recently introduced into live action in The Mandalorian Season 3, but they are going to be extremely important come the time of the Ahsoka show. Then you can skip right on through to the last 2 episodes of Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, where Ahsoka dies. There is an amazing showdown between Ahsoka and her ex-master, now Darth Vader. In Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels, we get introduced to Grand Admiral Thrawn. and we actually get to see how powerful he is even though he is not a Force user. Episode 10 of Season 3 is the perfect introduction to Thrawn. Also in Season 3 of Rebels, we get a ton of story development for Sabine Wren. We learn more about her being a Mandalorian, and we get to see her wield the Darksaber. And those episodes in Season 3 are episode 15 and 16. Now, Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels is the most important thing you need to watch before you watch the Ahsoka show. And my recommendation is you watch the entire thing, start to finish, all 15 episodes. There is so much character development for all of these characters, and we get to see the world between worlds for the first time ever, which will be a huge plot point in the Ahsoka show, and we get to see Thrawn and Ezra disappear into hyperspace, never to be seen or heard from until the Ahsoka show. Season 4 of Rebels. If you can't watch anything else, it is the most important thing you can watch to be prepared for this series that comes out in a few short weeks. Now, there is one episode of The Mandalorian and one episode of the Book of Boba Fett that I think are important, but not nearly as important as Season 4 of Rebels. Now, with that being said, Season 2, Episode 5 of The Mandalorian is when we get the first ever live-action appearance of Ahsoka Tano. And in that episode, she even name-drops Grand Admiral Thrawn. Then the one episode in the Book of Boba Fett is episode 6, where we get to see Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka share some screen time together. And this is very significant because Luke Skywalker is the son of Anakin Skywalker, who of course is the master of Ahsoka. And many fans believe that we could see the first time that Luke and Ahsoka meet in the upcoming Ahsoka series. But honestly, I think that's unlikely. So to be best prepared for Ahsoka, you need to watch 7 episodes of The Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, 21 episodes of Rebels, and 1 episode from both The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. And that all adds up to about 15 hours. Instead of 108 hours watching all that content, you only have to watch 15. But again, I can't emphasize this enough. If you don't have 15 hours, just watch Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels. All 15 episodes, it'll take you about 6 hours, and you should be set. Understanding the world between worlds, the characters of Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, Thrawn, Hera, and Chopper. Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels will put you in the right place you need to be to understand the upcoming series. But tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you think I missed an extremely important episode of The Clone Wars or Rebels or anything in my list? Tell me in the comment section below. Smash the like on this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And if you want to support this channel, become a member by hitting that join button that should be next to the subscribe button. But if it's not there, there should be a link in the description below. We go live on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so don't miss out on any of that by hitting that subscribe. And if you want more, go check out this video I just did about Sabine Wren being a Force user in the upcoming show.